have been tasked with talking about overcoming obstacles. Whoa, that was not necessarily hard, but that was a big one for me because so many things came to mind, right? I transparently share all the time how I am, a caregiver for my mother. My mother is bipolar schizophrenic, and has been for quite some time. When she is at her peak of being high, she's good. I don't mean high on drugs, but I mean like her high, like good times. She's on meds, and meds are going well. She's fully functioning, and she's really good. She doesn't require much help, right? But when that's not the case, it does require a lot of just attention. She may be paranoid, she may need people to stay with her, and it becomes a lot to handle. And I remember her having some manic episodes in my teenage years, and I didn't want us to have to stay with family members, so I just pushed through it, right? I just pushed through it. I did the grocery shopping. I would try to manage and help maintain the house and do things like that, so that we could, stay in our home and things could seem kind of normal, right? And in doing all those things, I began to develop a mask, if you will. A lot of my friends didn't even know that my mom had an illness. Some of them may have heard. We do live in a very small town, so some of them may have heard some things, but not a lot of people really knew what was going on. And I was doing the things. I had a pretty good life. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it was pretty cool. I played sports. I did things. Definitely college bound. Went to school for 4 years, and things were good. I worked an enormous amount of time because I didn't want to be a burden on my parents or my family. I felt that they had done a lot for me to become the young woman that I was at the time, and I owed it to them and myself to really push through challenges and do my thing. So there would be times that I'd be working 60 or 75 hours, 60 to 75 hours while taking classes, while being in organizations and doing all the things. And I wore a mask in that phase of life as that things were good when I really was low-key depressed. I drank a lot of alcohol to kind of suppress my emotions when I wasn't working, and it was hard. So I kind of coached myself out of the alcoholism and using alcohol as an antidepressant. And so when I moved to South Florida to go to grad school, that was one of my biggest focuses, was to not use alcohol as an antidepressant. And so I would use water as a way to calm myself. So I went to the beach during like my breaks. I went to school and worked 2 jobs, so breaks were far and few in between, but I would go to the water in between my breaks. I would spend a lot of time outside and just enjoying the moment. And a big piece is that I was away from everything I knew, so I was able to really get in tune with who I was and who I wanted to be and what I wanted to put into the atmosphere. I started to really get my feet wet with conferences and speaking and presenting and networking with intention. And so I just really boosted up my connections during that time. So once I finished my graduate school program, I moved back to the Carolinas. A plane is flying over me, so I'm gonna take a little break and kind of do a little dance or whatever while the plane is over. But I moved back to the Carolinas and started, working. I was teaching at a career college, and I was really taking my chances with speaking and writing and coaching and training. And so I did that. My mom became a little ill, and I started just traveling and trying to visit her and trying to travel and do all the things. And I essentially was like, I can't keep doing this because this ain't it. So I decided to leave my job. I was 24 years old, and I left my job and was running my business full-time. And though I was not making an enormous amount of money, I was making enough to keep the bills paid and sustain my lifestyle for a while. What happened, my mom got extremely ill, so I had to cancel a lot of engagements. I was on a book tour at the time, and I had to kind of just change up a lot, and I ended up back in consumer debt. I had paid off all my consumer debt, with the exception of my car. I only had a car and student loans. I had no other consumer debt. I ended up having to get back in some consumer debt to just maintain life, and it was a struggle for a little minute because I was afraid to take gigs or to book tours or anything like that because I just did not know what life was going to look like. So it was hard. But y'all, I'm here to tell you that you can push through anything. You can push through anything. So I decided, like, okay, I gotta restructure my life. My mom did get better, woohoo, and I was able to really hit the pavement again and start, you know, I took some contracts with different organizations to do their media management and help them with strategy. I started working with some small brands to do strategy, and I got back on the speaking ring, and I was just booked and busy. And it wasn't easy because I had to push past my own fears and insecurities, because from taking that break, I kind of started to like doubt myself and have these thoughts that I never had before. Because when I first began speaking and hosting events, and there's another plane. When I first began speaking and hosting events and doing retreats and just doing all that, I had no blueprint. Like, I had no one to compare myself to because I just didn't know where to look. So I was just doing it, right? I was just doing it. I had my blinders on. In words of my league, I had my blinders on, and I was just getting it. And so I wasn't comparing myself or contrasting or anything. I was just doing it. But when I had taken that break, it allowed me to kind of look at other things, and I was like, am I really enough? So I did have some moments and some times of questioning myself. So it was a lot to get up out of that. How did I get out? How did I get out? One, I started listening to motivational things all the time. I do a lot of traveling, no music in the car. I'm listening to a podcast, I'm listening to a sermon, I'm listening to an inspirational speech. I'm listening to something to keep me going. Number two, no negativity in my circle. None. Zero. Zilch. None. No negativity in my circle, because that could have taken me backwards. So no negativity. And number three, just do it. Like Nike, just do it. I was like sending in emails, contacting the people, following up on Facebook, doing the things to get myself back in the game. And that was it. Was it easy? Nah. Was it worth it? Yes. And to be where I am now and where I'm going, I'm just grateful, because life has truly been generous, despite you know, an ill parent, despite challenges, despite just not knowing certain things, because I just didn't know. I am out here doing things that I did not have someone I could call to ask for answers. So I had to really just figure it out and do a lot of Googling and do a lot of listening and do a lot of learning and go to a lot of events and sacrifice. Like, I can't go to the concert because I need to go to the event to better myself. I can't go out to eat because I need to buy this course. You know, there was a lot of big, mature, major decisions that had to be made. Shoot, I don't even listen to music, you know? So it's been it. But in moving home, I've been able to get on boards and make some level up decisions and changes in my life that I know I probably would not have been able to find the access to if I would not have done that. So it has been a tremendous blessing. But I must say that pushing past obstacles is the key, right? Because you can get wrapped up when start going left. Like, excuse my language, I didn't say the word, but I kind of interjected the word. You can start getting defeated when stuff starts going haywire. You can start to really question yourself and question God and question, heck, everything. But you can't let it get in your way. You gotta keep going. You got to. You just do. So that's it. I think that's it for this little talk about pushing past challenges. So push past your challenges. Maybe for you it's not as a parent. Maybe it is that you really can't get out of your own head. Maybe it's that you don't feel like you have the connections you need. Maybe it's you don't feel like you have the expertise that you need. Push past. Learn, grow, disconnect from negativity. Find the people that you need to be in your circle and get it done. Get it done. And it's easier said than done, but what you have to realize is that every day that you choose you and that you choose to move past the fears is a step towards that greatness of the next level. So until next time, see you later.